We are back live in studio on Friday, July 11th. Rashawn is Spin in the Morning, episode 34, presented by Off Base Media. And we are gearing up for a Wet Hot American weekend, but it's also our last Wet Hot American weekend of the first half of baseball before the All-Star break. How are we feeling today, Sean?
Feeling good. Gonna get into a little standings check, short little vibe check. Wasn't much, not a whole lot that happened yesterday. Some stuff was fun, some stuff wasn't. But we're getting into like a pretty interesting time, so we're definitely gonna hit a standings check up just to see where everybody is at.
But we also had a show. We also had a Thursday show. So from Thursday to Friday, what else is going on? Besides some of the more breaking stuff, and some of it is All-Star talk.
Most of it's All-Star stuff.
So it is. I mean, we have Jazz Chisholm announced he'll be in the Derby.
Called that one.
Because he had mentioned. We did talk about this yesterday, and he had mentioned that he would be interested in it. I know they needed like one more guy. Well, I think they needed two more. I think Brent Rooker became the 7th.
Yeah,
Jazz became the 8th. I think so. I think the bracket's going to be set maybe this weekend or Sunday, and then we'll obviously talk more on Monday. But there's Jazz. That's cutesy. I don't know. He's a guy.
He's an electric guy to have. I mean, like you said yesterday, he brings the swagger, brings a little bit of like an edge to the home run derby, which is good, I guess. Rooker definitely doesn't. He's going to hit bombs though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, but like Jazz is going to put on a show, so that's good for him.
That's good. And then another guy, another New York guy. I was going to put the graphic in. Fuck, forgot. But David Peterson to the Midsummer Classic. That's like the opposite of a snub.
Yeah,
that's the graphic I was gonna put in.
I don't want to say this because I don't think we can put it on YouTube, but it's like I can't say it. Never mind. David Peterson making it to the Midsummer Classic. Listen, good for him. He's had a very good year by all things considered for David Peterson. He's had a good year for him. Not a good year like to be an all-star. There are so many better pitchers ahead of him. How many did we list yesterday?
Oh, he wasn't on our 6 or 7 that we named. I think I like his teammate Kodai a little bit more. There's some comparisons that people are doing on Twitter.
Yeah, that one was the biggest one that I saw, and of course, me being a Phillies fan, I'm definitely going to say this as well. He is getting beat in every single category by one of these guys. Sanchez, I mean, look at how many categories Sanchez is beating him in. Almost every single one. Actually, he is. He's beating him in every single category. And then Ranger has him in. He has less strikeouts, less innings pitched, and just less games overall. But he's still beating him in most of the categories. I don't even think Mets fans are delusional. I don't think Mets fans thought Peterson should be in.
Oh, no, and when the Mets pitching staff was at an all-time high, David Peterson was probably the only guy that they weren't saying was going to be an all-star. Because you're making a case for Meagle, you're making a case for Clay Holmes or Senga or Canning at a certain point. Those are the Mets pitchers that they were making cases for. Never was it Peterson. Now, however, Peterson is my favorite. Is my favorite out of all of them. I hate the Mets. We all hate the Mets. No one ever really likes the Mets, if we're being honest. But what I will say is I've liked David Peterson last year, and I think like you said, so David Peterson's having a good year for David Peterson. I think I'll take it a step further. I think David Peterson is having a good year for pretty much anybody, but I think there's guys having better seasons that should be named to the All-Star team.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him a little bit more credit. He is having a very good season to be in general, but there were more pitchers than what we got. There was Sanchez, Suarez. We talked about Kodai. Who else did we throw in there?
Well, we had Valdez, Framber.
Well, Framber and Eovaldi were our 2 AL ones. They were 2 AL guys.
Oh yeah, so we're talking NL.
Listen,
those are the NL guys.
If the Mets were in first place and he had the best, and he has the best ERA on the Mets right now. I'm pretty sure. I don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he has the best ERA. If the Mets were in first place and they were as hot as they were in the beginning of the year, yeah, give it to them because that's one of the better teams in baseball. They're still one of the better teams in baseball, but they're in second place right now.
Yeah,
and I can't wrap my fucking head around it. Sanchez didn't miss any time this year. I guess you could give it to you. Don't give it to Suarez because maybe he missed some time in the beginning of the year. But like,
if that's a difference maker,
if that's what you think,
I still think. I mean, Senga's ERA on that team is incredible. I know he's missed a little bit though, so maybe that's why. I think part of it is you want to. Okay, the Mets are one of the better teams in baseball. I know they're not a first place team right now. They're not totally. How are they? Like 1.5 back? Yeah, 1.5 back.
Yeah.
So it's like they're not like terribly out of it. And they have one of the better staffs of the first half. So if you want to reward one of the better staffs in baseball by making one of them an all-star, okay. But I would be more comfortable with Senga, I think. And if I'm gonna, I wouldn't go Peterson over Sanchez and Suarez. I think definitely Sanchez because if you're going to say Suarez missed some time, fine. But I wouldn't do it over Christopher. And I think that's where the problem lies. It's like if he was a guy that's like, okay, this is like our last guy, and he's the best part of one of the better staffs of the first half, fine.
Yeah.
But not when Christopher Sanchez is out there.
Yeah, he was and Christopher Sanchez is actually, I think in like betting wise, he's at least top 10 in Cy Young right now.
I mean, I saw him at a point he was like number 4.
Yeah, so he's up there right now, and I don't know. I mean, we've talked about how the MLB is normally good at everybody getting their flowers. And a lot of people have speculation that Sanchez pitches on Sunday, so they're kind of like, why would we bother?
That was the other thing.
Yeah.
But still, you want to reward a guy for having a really good first half.
Exactly. So I don't know. Peterson pitched today, so he would be good to go by the time the All-Star game rolls around.
He pitched yesterday.
Pitched yesterday. And he would be good about the time the All-Star game came around. So maybe that has a little bit to do with it. I'm not sure. But I'm here to give as many people their flowers as they should, and I think they just missed the ball in this one.
I think so too. And it's nothing against Peterson, but I think there's better candidates.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to PCA, who is good at baseball.
Yeah.
This is the stat here. You probably saw it. He's the only player in MLB history with 25 homers, 25 stolen bases, and 70 ribbies before the All-Star break.
It's kind of nuts because, honestly, you think a guy over in L.A. would have done that by now by the name of Shohei Ohtani. Because with all the crazy stats he's had, everything like that, you kind of would have guessed that he would have had those numbers.
Yeah.
PCA did it. Like we said, I think PCA is going to be good for a long time. I don't know if he's going to be this good for this long, but I think he's going to be a good ball player here to come around, and he's obviously shown it this year, deserves to be an all-star starter, and honestly deserves to be getting some MVP talks like he is.
Yeah, I think the reason a guy like Ohtani doesn't, or some of these other guys, is like Ohtani leads off. He's not going to get those ribby numbers. They have PCA. Yesterday he hit 4th and hit 2 home runs, and I think before that he was maybe like batting 6th and shit.
Yeah, they like Happ in that leadoff role.
Yeah, they do. I remember when Happ got maybe a little bit banged up or something happened, he fulfilled the leadoff spot for a little bit, and then when Happ came back, Happ gets his leadoff spot back. Remember that was a little bit of controversial because obviously PCA is a stud. But I mean it's tough to get those ribby numbers. He's in a position of a really good lineup where he has the ability to get a lot of ribbies, and he's coming through in big moments. So good for you, PCA. 2 homers yesterday, I guess, puts him at what was
25.
That was 25. That was 24 and 25. And I think he's like at least 27 stolen bases. So he's really been a well-rounded player.
So one thing I wanted to ask you before we move on from this is, where do you see PCA kind of going after this? Do you think he stays and he stays in MVP talks, stays as an all-star guy, or does he take a slump? Does he get a slump here? Where do you think? We've talked about this before because we don't like getting super high on these young guys because they have to prove themselves multiple times. You famously said that you didn't start liking Shohei Ohtani until 2 years ago.
So maybe 2021.
Yeah.
Started like.
So the where do you kind of see PCA's trend going, or what does his future look like?
I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's such a case by case basis, but that's the importance of us letting the kids play and then seeing how they can continue to develop. Because we saw like Corbin Carroll, we saw his second year in the show. And now he's an all-star in year 3 again, after he was an all-star in year 1. So this is really not PCA's rookie year, but his first full season. I like to think that he could just, you would like to think that everyone can just maintain it and be good for a long period of time. But, I'm not shocked if he runs into something like Corbin Carroll did. They're similar players, and maybe
they're very similar players.
I think in terms of their bag, right?
Yeah.
Like, they both could be maybe flirt with 40-40 season. And maybe not Corbin with that power. Well,
Corbin's hitting like 20 home runs.
He does
have
20 home runs this year. Yeah. So maybe they flirt with, I'll say 30-30 and be more conservative with it. But they can do those things. They could. They're fast as hell. They can play good defense. PCA more the center fielder of the two. And I think he's more known for his glove and his speed. So even if the bat's going through slumps and the power's not coming in bunches, he still is going to bring a whole hell of a lot to the table. So you have to really respect that of his game. And then when he's at his best, you're seeing what he can do. So it's good that he's doing it at a young age and he's setting the bar high for himself. I think there's going to be peaks and valleys with everybody. I'm not shocked if, as a team, the offense gets cold in the second half because it's really was only hot.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a case that every position could be at the All-Star break, or at least most positions could be filled with Cubs. I mean, you can make a case for Carson Kelly. You can make a case for Bush and Horner and 4 outfielders, realistically, or at least 3 outfielders, because Seiya's a snub. You can make a case for so many dudes for the Cubs to be all-stars offensively. I can see that trickling down a little bit in the second half. But, I like to see – I also like to think that he can just maintain this and, be when it's all said and done, maybe get some MVP votes.
I think PCA for his future, he's definitely going to teeter the all-star almost every single year, I'd say. I don't know about the MVP talks most of the years, because how many people have we seen besides Shohei and like Trout back in the day, and like you have to be a generational first ballot Hall of Famer to get those, like legitimately be in the MVP talks every single time you play. You know what I mean? So that's a little far fetched, but I do think that PCA is going to be an all-star for a while. Like you said, he's a platinum glover out there. He's gonna like, if his bat goes, his defense will always be there. So
yeah, I think I don't think I'm not gonna totally count out that he can't be in the MVP talks every single year.
No, neither am I.
But it's a big ask. It's a huge ask. But I do think he could flirt with all-star appearances, and then if he plays a long career, then yes, he wins a handful of Gold Gloves, Silver Sluggers, makes his fair share of all-star appearances, and puts together a really good resume.
Yeah. So I mean, it's always crazy when people are posting about a guy that makes errors, because it's so shocking that he makes errors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how you got a good ball player there.
So who's this next dude?
Talking about the Phillies ball boy, the hustler, the man of the hour, Adam Crognall. I don't know if I'm saying that.
I think
right.
It's Crognall.
Crognall.
That's what I would say.
Whatever.
Who the fuck knows?
He's an all-star, baby. Phillies put a highlight tape together for him. He looks pretty good. But good for him. Given I don't know how old he is, but that's awesome that he gets to go to the All-Star game. It's in Atlanta.
Yeah, I thought he was Scott Kingery at first.
Wow, he does look like Scott Kingery. A young Scott Kingery.
I thought that was a young Scott Kingery at first.
But shout out to Adam. The Phillies, if you watch the Phillies broadcast, they talk about him at least once a time. Kruk and McCarthy talk about him at least once a broadcast. They have a field day with him. They gotta love him. They love him. He's a hustler. Dude, he's always running out there. He works hard. So congrats to him, man. That's awesome.
I don't know who the AL guy is, but no one cares.
It's the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, okay.
The Tigers guy got it.
I like that they do this, though. So, yeah, Adam Crognall or whatever the fuck. He's probably a little paisan from South Philly.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. But, I mean, good for him. And, I love the highlight film. If you haven't seen the highlight film, check out that. Because, who up ball boys get highlight films? Adam does.
Adam does, baby. Philly's stunk so long there for a while that they needed something to write home about. But moving on to your team, showing a little fight last night, dude. That's gotta look good for you. You've been harping on that all year, that this team has no dog, no fight. But Yankees were no hit through 7. Brian Wu put on a show last night in the Bronx. He is unbelievable. But they battled back in the 8th and 9th. What was it, a 5-run comeback, 6-run?
They were down 5-0 in like the 8th.
Yeah, 6-run comeback. 4-game win streak now.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, well, I kind of want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, they sweep Seattle, and they played Seattle well last time they played them. I think last time it was in Seattle, they might have took 2 out of 3. So yeah, again, I'm not terribly worried about these teams. Like Seattle and some of the lesser teams in the Central, and some of those types of teams, I'm not really worried. I'd love to see them battle back. And again, this is going to be nitpicking. I'm very happy that it's a 4-game win streak, and you have the 3-game set against the Cubs this weekend. The Yankees have
right before the break.
Before the break, so that's going to be pivotal. Also, let's take at least 2 out of 3 from Chicago, and then really be in good position at the break. But either way, won't get too nitpicky or won't look too much ahead. But yeah, again, I'd like to see them play teams like when they had the 4-game set against Toronto and they start getting their ass handed to them a little bit. I'd see them have a little bit more fight there and at least split a 4-game set or play Tampa Bay hard when Tampa Bay is right on your tail. Play teams like Detroit and Houston and really show fight against it. Now, again, I'm very happy about this Seattle series and that they're on a 4-game set and things are looking up right now. They had some dog in them last night, which was awesome. I don't want to be too nitpicky, but I think there is something to be said about how could you handle yourselves against teams that are pretty much in your bracket or a little bit ahead of you. I think they're ahead of Seattle. I'm not scared of Seattle. So good. You played them hard at home. Great. And you sweep. Let's keep that going though.
But the thing with Seattle is I think you have to kind of give yourself credit for is their pitching's pretty good.
And they were able to get to Munoz in the ninth.
Yeah, so that's like you're going to see that pitching come the playoffs. You know what I mean? So they got no hit for 7 innings, but they got to the bullpen. Yeah. And sometimes that's what you have to do come the playoffs. You know what I mean? So like Bryan Woo, all-star, probably, I mean, like we talked about how many pitchers are going to be getting Cy Young talks and stuff. We know it's Skubal, it's Skeens, and Wheeler at the top right now, but like there's a lot of people you can talk about and Bryan Woo is one of them.
Yeah,
so he's been having an unbelievable year. So shout out to Bryan Woo, but also shout out to the Yankees.
Yeah, and Woo is I think he's considered their ace right now. And if the season would end today, now that Seattle got swept, they're actually out of the wild card. I think we're going to talk more about that. But Woo, I think, is their ace. I mean, I think there was a time Logan Gilbert was going to be, and
George Kirby was.
George Kirby was in the conversations, and all these guys were high. Even who's the Miller dude? He's been MIA.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But either way, Bryce Miller, he's been MIA. I feel like, but Woo has been their guy, and he was good last year, but he has really emerged as their number one with some injuries and guys underperforming. So it's good that Woo's going to do Woo things. And that's could be a playoff atmosphere a little bit when you have an ace on the bump. Seattle's not a bad team. It's in the Bronx on a Thursday night. It could be playoff atmosphere like. Yeah. So good to see them pull it out. It's good. I don't want to be too nitpicky, but it's good. It's good. Let's keep building off.
But that's actually kind of now a good transition because we're going to get into a little standings check here. Right before the break, we're going to talk a little bit about some teams, some people who have surprised us, some notables that I wanted to talk about before we get going. Atlanta, 12 games under 500. Ronald Acuna still does his little fucking show around the bags. Wow. And remember when we said, when does it become too much? Well, when you're 12 games under 500, I think it becomes too much.
This is where you draw the line?
Yeah, I think so. Like, it's kind of wild to me. Now, listen, when I saw it last night, it looked a little sad when he did it. He wasn't like super flashy about it. So maybe he finally realizes like, wow, we're 12 games under 500. Maybe I should stop. But he's still Ronald Acuna. He's going to do Ronald Acuna things. He's one of the best players in the league. Let him do whatever the hell he wants. Sometimes I don't know. But
here's the weird thing about Atlanta is a weird stat. They actually do have a positive run differential. They're +1, and every fourth place team in the National League has a positive run differential.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Like at least really all the other fourth place teams are over 500. Like Arizona. Actually, Arizona's 2 games under, but a little bit more of a fighter. And Cincinnati is over 500. Miami's 12 games under, but a positive run differential.
Well, I think one thing we talked about with the Braves was they were losing a lot of close games, especially early on in the year. They were losing a lot of one-run games, and they weren't getting like blown out, but they were not kind of like the bullpen, and they're starting pitching, and they're hitting they weren't all putting it together. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that could be the case for a lot of these fourth-place teams. They're not winning the ones when they're close.
Yep.
Next, Milwaukee, 2 games back behind Chicago, just coming off a sweep of the Dodgers. Big series win for them, knocking on the door of Chicago. We know how good Chicago is with that hitting, lacking a little bit on pitching. Milwaukee's talking about how much they need a bat. A lot of Milwaukee fans are talking, they need a bat. They need a bat. They're not wrong. They need a bat. Their pitchings look good. Bullpen has looked pretty good as well. Milwaukee's got to do a thing at a deadline and bring somebody in. Boston, longest win streak right now with a 7-game win streak. Still 5 games back. They're getting Bregman back this weekend, though. And one thing that's been glaring to a lot of people is Boston needs the pitching. Because when you go around that lineup, you go around that diamond now, oh my God, why can't I remember the first baseman's name, who they popped in?
Romy Gonzalez.
Yeah, Romy Gonzalez has looked good. Marcelo Meyer has also looked good. He's going to be moving to second. Story at short. And then Bregman now at third. And then you get to the outfield, Duran, Abreu, Rafaela, who's honestly made a case that he could have been an all-star snub this year. And also now you have Roman Anthony with Navarez behind the dish. You have all the position players. You have the bats you need. You need to get pitching. You can like what we said. This team's young. This is awesome. A 7-game win streak for them still looks good. And I'd also like to take a little credit because I said all the way back Boston was not out of it. I'd like to say that. But 4 teams in the playoffs right now from the AL East, and this is what we kind of thought of the AL East in the beginning of the year. It wasn't looking like that for a long time, but 4 teams in the playoffs right now.
Which is nuts, and because this is not the same AL East as it used to be, but maybe there were times where it was a little more top heavy, and maybe now, Toronto has got to where the Yankees are. Boston has kind of gotten where Tampa Bay was, and Tampa Bay hasn't really fell ever, and Baltimore has really plummeted, but they're actually playing better ball too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so maybe there was times where it was really like top heavy, where you had like maybe 2 90-win teams and then like a third team on the cusp, generally speaking. Now it's like a lot of teams. There's 4 teams with 50 right now, and the Toronto paves the way with 54. So yeah, pretty even distribution here in the East, which is nuts. And which is prevailing better than the Central. There was a time the Central was the shit.
Yeah, Central was the shit, but we never really bought into that a whole lot.
We didn't.
We weren't big on any of the Central teams, except for, the next team we're going to talk about is Kansas City moves to second. They're on a 4-game win streak, still below 500. They're only in second because Central sucks so bad. Like, that's really the only reason.
You had Boston. You weren't counting them out, but KC were my guys.
Yeah, dude, they're 3.5 games out of the wild card right now, so they're still not out of it completely either. They make some moves at the deadline. They look like a new team as well. So, a lot of these teams that we just mentioned, minus Atlanta, you can really count Atlanta out. They kind of suck, but all these teams, they're going to make some splashes, but still need pieces that they all have in common. They need pieces at the deadline.
That's true.
So if we're looking wild card wise right now,
start with the AL wild card. Is that where you're at?
Yeah. So we've got the Yankees, Tampa Bay, and the Red Sox all in right now. You have the Mariners 1 game back, Kansas City 3.5 back, Rangers 3.5 back.
Crazy.
Followed by the Angels and Twins both at 4 games back. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Who do you think makes a push to the end? Do you see people falling? Do you see people rising? What do you see here?
Yeah, so I think you look at, and this is what you just said. A lot of these teams, what they have in common is they have to do something at the deadline to kind of really propel them or take that next leap. Boston, I look at the teams that are kind of are going to be competing for that, maybe that last wild card spot, or maybe it's the last 2. But as of right now, if the season would end today, it's that last wild card spot where Boston currently holds. Then it's Seattle, Kansas City. You could fuck around with Texas and LA too. Maybe Texas, they're the same as KC. Maybe I should put a little more respect on Texas. But I kind of like KC. I like the way that they're trending a little bit more. 4-game win streak where Texas is like hit or miss half the time. Either way, to me, the team that's going to get there is who has the best deadline. Like, it literally might come down to that. See, and it's all evident stuff, right? It's all evident that Boston probably needs arms or something to maintain that possession of that wild card spot. Seattle needs an offensive piece, maybe a Ryan O'Hearn we talked about. I think that would look good on him to kind of propel, to maybe make that leap and switch places with Boston. I look at Kansas City. I think they need another bat. That might give them the ability to get over 500 and kind of flirt with maybe where Seattle is, because Seattle's 3 games over, Kansas City's 2 games under. What can give you that next leap? Maybe it's that extra bat that you've been so desperately needing for pretty much the whole first half now. Maybe you fuck around with Texas and throw them in the mix and say if they can go all in and the offense wakes up in the second half and they can start mustering some runs, but the bullpen can also hold their leads, maybe that's a big thing for them. And Texas makes a big splash, whatever the Angels have to do. But the point is, we all know that all these teams need to do something.
Exactly. I don't see the Angels or the Twins kind of being there at the end.
Neither do I.
I just threw them in because they technically are 4 games back. Both those teams in the beginning of the year had stretches where they were pretty good. That's what's keeping them on the door. Also with the AL being kind of a little lackluster. Keeps them knocking on the door.
Both very trendy teams. Too.
Yeah. So you want to give credit where credit is due. We both knew they were going to fall eventually.
I can see the Angels doing something, but this isn't their year. For them, I think let's try to do something for next year.
And like the Twins, I could see Buxton finally going on the move. So kind of they kind of like almost give up on the season really and look towards next year. But then like you hit the nail on the head. It's Rangers need to address. Royals and the Mariners all need to address things. I don't really think Tampa Bay is going to make many moves at the deadline. They are 3-7 in their last 10, so that's something to keep an eye on. But Boston obviously needs to go get a pitcher. Yeah. They need to go get a pitcher. But the one thing that like with all the talent they have, a lot of teams, if they're going to want a pitcher, a lot of teams are going to ask about the people who are currently in the currently probably up in the show right now. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to want many prospects.
These teams who are on the cusp. If you're knocking on the door, you don't want prospects.
Exactly.
You want some major league ready talent or guys that are
that's where
benefit you now.
Boston has to decide, and actually a lot of these teams have to decide who they're willing to give up. We think we know the Rangers are ready to give up Adolis. Sure. They're ready to part ways with him. Kansas City, I'm not really sure. I don't know who they'd be willing to part ways with. They're that one's a little bit more difficult, you know. But the Mariners too. The Mariners need bats, but are they willing to give up a guy who's in that starting rotation? They have arms.
So the only reason I think the Mariners could do that is because they have some young guy. What's his name? Logan Evans is a guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's like young arms that people might find sexy. They've had a few this year. I don't know how badly Seattle needs them. I don't know who's coming back. Like, I don't know Bryce Miller's status. I really should know that. And I don't know, like some of these young guys. Like I said, I think Logan Evans has been somewhat promising for them. The Yankees might have hit him pretty well the other day, but prior to that start, he might have had a sub-3 ERA. But either way, like I think that they have so many arms and some young guys that maybe they can afford to do it. To bring in a bat, I don't know. And then maybe with Kansas City, I don't know how their prospects look. I don't know how their farm system looks. But I'd probably dig into that, maybe tap into that without maybe being too crazy. But I'd maybe tap into that and try to.
Bryce Miller's injured right now.
But do you know when he comes back?
No, I'm not sure.
I'll try to find Bryce. Because he's been on and off. I think at a perfect. So coming back at the end of the month.
Emerson Hancock back down in the minors.
So he's a guy too. He's a guy too. But I think in a perfect world, maybe Luis Castillo.
Could be. Yeah, they could.
Maybe
be
it's Castillo.
Part ways with him as well.
I think he's been talked about in the past. But in a perfect world, let's say it's Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, Bryce Miller, George Kirby. That's like your big four with Luis Castillo, unless he's on the block, the trade block, the trapping block. And then you guys there's like a Logan Evans, there's an Emerson Hancock, and then there's other guys that have been fill-in guys, but haven't been awful. They've been serviceable, but maybe they can afford to give up a guy like a Castillo, and then maybe a low-key guy also, depending on how badly or how much they want to go all in.
Like
but
if you
have to see yourself as ahead of Texas.
You've talked about Ryan O'Hearn a lot too, basically, and going there, you liked him there, and the Orioles need pitching.
Yeah.
So you're not far off in my eyes with that take there.
What about O'Hearn to Kansas City?
Who would they give up?
Kansas City? I don't know. Maybe some young dudes. I don't know who they have.
Exactly. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with like who's on Kansas City's roster a whole lot, which is kind of bad. I should be, but
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they also have pitchers as well. They have like, do you love and are you attached to Noah Cameron?
Yeah,
thing,
that's true. Maybe you are. Maybe you'd be more inclined to give up an older head.
Yeah, maybe a Seth Lugo that's on the move.
They might have.
You know what I mean?
Perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Is he considered their ace right now?
I don't think. I mean, like, you have Bubic.
Like, Bubic would be, I guess, your ace. He's the all-star. But Lugo, I think you want Lugo for a playoff series. You do have Reagans coming back, which is good. I don't know. Like how old's Waka? I don't know if he's sexy.
Like, are you willing to move on from Lugo? Little older of a guy, not going to really fit into many of your plans, or like a Lorenzen. Like, are you willing to move on from a Lorenzen?
I mean, you would be, but I don't know who would want him.
Exactly. So it's hard for some of these teams. The one thing we didn't touch upon,
I think if you're going to get O'Hearn, you have to you would send younger pieces there.
Yeah, probably to the Orioles. Yeah, 100%. But the what was I getting at? What we didn't talk about yesterday was what these teams are going to have to give up to get what they need. Yeah. And that's a whole nother side to the equation that a lot of people don't think about. And that's where it becomes tricky almost. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, it's going to be think of landing spots, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you get it?
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. That's why a lot of people don't move at the MLB trade deadline. A lot of these MLB teams, they get attached to certain people. Like there's obviously people who roam. You have like an Austin Hayes who's been on 3 teams in 3 years. You know what I mean? Like there's guys who are journeymen. They're just point blank. They're journeymen, and they're willing to move on from them. But we'll see who people are willing to give up. But then we get to the NL side of things. Right now, we got the Brewers, Mets, and Giants are all in there. But listen to this. We've got – it's actually not even as close as I thought it would. But we got the Padres who are a half game back. St. Louis is a game back. Cincinnati Reds are 3 games back. And the Diamondbacks, 5 games back, dude. They fell under 500 again.
That's what they do.
They fell under 500 again.
Then they'll like get back up. I could see them being a game over at the – well, no, that means they would have to sweep. Maybe they would take 2 – I don't even know. We'll look in our Wet Hot American Weekend. But I think I see them taking 2 out of 3 or like winning a series, getting back like on track before the All-Star break, then going down again. Yeah. Then maybe get back up. They haven't been able to get up and stay up and take off. You know, that's been who they are all season.
And with the roster they have, you think they would. Burns going out really hurt them, and Gallen hasn't really been that guy for them. Kelly, Fat, they've also up and down solid years, though, I guess. I mean, Fat, not really. I think he's kind of trended way down.
Up and then down. Yeah. Kelly, Love. I think Kelly actually had a 7-inning, 1-earned game against San Diego. Got a loss in that game.
Yeah, he's been pretty damn good.
It was 1-0 they lost.
That bullpen's been atrocious. I mean, their lineup, when you look at it, it's like Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll, Eugenio Suarez, Luis Gurriel Jr.
Yeah, people always forget about him.
Yeah,
and then Naylor's there.
Behind the plate, with first base, you got Naylor, and behind the plate, you have that
Moreno. He's banged up, but good catcher.
So
I mean, they're put together. But
lineup-wise, you think they'd be great.
They're put together, but they're falling apart. I don't know how to.
Well, here's the thing. The lineup-wise, they actually have the most runs scored in the entire NL.
No way.
No, sorry. 3rd most runs scored in the entire NL right now. And they have the 3rd most runs given up in the entire NL.
That'll do it, right?
Yeah. So 3rd and 3rd when you think about it.
Holy shit, look at them.
Yeah, how nuts is that?
Colorado, Washington, and then them?
Yep. And then on the opposite side, runs scored.
Well, actually, the Cubs give up a lot.
Where are the Cubs at? 379 runs against. No, they're good.
Yeah, they gave up more than Arizona, I'm saying.
No, look. You're looking at it different. Runs against. Chicago Cubs only at 379.
Oh, 379. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Arizona at 471. Yeah. Gotcha. I was looking at fucking the wrong number.
So the people who have scored more than them are only 2 teams, and it's the Dodgers and the Cubs.
Yeah, let's look at runs against really quick because they're 3rd behind Colorado and Washington.
Yeah,
which is not you don't want to be in that conversation.
No, you do not. Anywhere.
But go to runs scored then. Who are they behind?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Dodgers and Cubs are the only teams in front of them.
So you do want to be in that conversation.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're a mess. We figured it out, guys. Why they're so wishy-washy. Their pitching fucking sucks, apparently.
Well, with a positive run differential, and you know what it is though. It's I think it's a lot of their bullpen.
Yeah.
Mostly. But yeah, I mean, underperformers in their starting rotation is also true. I think the first month of the season, Brandon Pfaadt was considered their ace.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's ERA. Last time I checked, it was like maybe pushing 5. Brandon, we'll have to just fact check me. Yeah, it's a 5.16. But in the first month of the season, he was like their ace, and then when Corbin Burns finally found it,
that's a really bad 5.16. He was lights out like the first 2 months.
Yeah, like there was a good chunk of the season, or let's say the early half of the season, or the early parts of the season was good. And then when Corbin Burns finally found it, he was then he gets banged up and out for the season, huge blow. Then everyone's like, well, Zach Gallen has to find it, and maybe he does, and maybe he doesn't. I don't know. There's been glimpses of him. Kelly's been pretty steady, but not the rotation that we thought, I guess, and certainly not the bullpen we thought. That's the biggest thing with them.
Yeah,
not the bullpen we thought.
So weird team. Our next segment, I guess we did a little wild card check there. That's something good to talk about. But we're gonna do one word to describe their season so far. We're gonna pick some teams throughout the standings and talk a little bit more in depth about how we think they are doing.
I have no idea what these words are. I didn't think about this at all, by the way.
So AL East. A lot of teams we could talk about. We're going to pin it down to 2. We're going to talk about the Blue Jays, who are currently sitting at the top of the division.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about the Red Sox. One word. What you got?
Oh, so one word for the Toronto?
Yeah.
One word for Toronto is do you have a word?
I was just gonna say.
I have an idea. I don't have.
I was
one word,
legitimately
though.
just. It's boring. It's bland. But I was just gonna say exciting.
Okay.
Because I don't really think a whole lot of Blue Jays fans in the beginning of the year thought this was going to be their team.
Okay.
Because I think they were very much thinking, hey, the moves we made weren't enough. Our pitching sucks. Springer's old. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the way they were trending. Like, Vladdy, we might be getting rid of Bo Bichette. There were talks about him being traded, but never mind. Bo Bichette's looked great this year. Vladdy's looked great this year. So I would say they're pretty damn excited right now, being the top number one in the AL East.
Yeah, I can't even think of one word. I'm so bad at this segment. But here's my idea of it, and maybe someone in the comments can figure out the fucking word. Maybe you know the word I'm going for. But I'm actually a little opposite. I actually think that this is maybe my word is like long time coming, or something like
okay.
That's not one word, but that's the vibe I'm going for, because I do think that I'm a little different than you. I think when you looked at them on paper this year, I don't think it was crazy to say. I had them as like a fourth place team. I didn't think they were going to be good, so it was a little surprising. But also, when you looked at their pitching, even for a while now, they've had the pitching to do it, even when Manaea was the king of the hill. And they just never were able to be all good at the same time. We talked about this a while ago. They were never all good at the same time. And if they could all finally be good at the same time, with or without Manaea, obviously, or Manoah, Alek Manoah,
yeah.
not Manaea, but Manoah, you know. But with or without him, obviously he's come down to earth. But there was a time he was good, and then they didn't have some of these other guys, and maybe Gausman just got there. We talked about this a while ago. But now it's like when Gausman was good, Manoah wasn't, and then maybe Barrios first came over, he wasn't good. They weren't all good at the same time. Now we're seeing really good contributions from Gausman, from Barrios, from Bassett. And then now you bring Scherzer into the equation, who hasn't looked bad, but he does give you that fire and intensity. And I think we all expected Bichette to have a bounce-back season. I don't think we thought the offense was going to be this good, but they're getting good contributions from their low-key dudes. But the pitching was really going to propel them. They made moves in the offseason. Good for them, I guess. So kind of a long time coming, a little bit surprising at the same time. More than one word, but I'll be better for the next one.
Team we talk about a lot, Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, what's their word?
I'm going with seesaw.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Up and down. You never really know with this team. Right now they're up. They've been up and down the whole entire year. This was another team that we talked about a lot, not being able to completely break that 500. They were sitting right around it. They were going above it. They were going below it. Right now they're 5 games above it, 7-game win streak. You get your former MVP back, who not former, but like he was in the MVP race before he got hurt, and Alex Bregman. Now they're looking up. They're looking like they got the fat kid on the other side of the seesaw now, and they're staying up right now. So we'll see how this goes. Like we said, they need an arm, but I like where the Red Sox are trending right now.
I'm gonna say the first word I was gonna say was just youthful.
That's good though.
They're youthful, yeah, youthful. Obviously, a super young team, and they kind of put themselves in a position to be really young, and that's the vibe that they're going to be going with. So we'll see if it works out for them.
All right, we'll move on to the AL Central. The 2 teams we're going to talk about. The first team we're going to talk about is the White Sox, and I think people are going to be kind of shocked how we go about with this White Sox team. But mine was going to be unanticipated.
Okay,
I was saying because it was expected that they were going to be a losing team, but it was unexpected that they were going to be like little scrappers.
Yeah,
they got some pieces now. They have some young guys. Michael Vargas, who's the shortstop they got that starts with an M? Meidroth. They're not little bad players. You know what I mean? They got 2 guys in the starting rotation.
Lennon Sosa. They got him in fantasy.
They got 2 guys with Shane Smith and Sean Burke in the starting rotation. Yep. Like maybe it's looking a little bit up in Chicago. These prospects are finally coming up a little bit, and they might deal Luis Roberts, get some more.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, if they can deal Robert, then we'll see if there's value for the kid. Which could be good for them in the future. My thing with the White Sox would be, I don't have a fancy word. I was just going to say better. Still bad, but better. They cleaned it up a lot last year. Now, they're still probably going to be a team that loses 100 games, but you're starting to see I don't think you're starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel with them.
No.
But you're starting to kind of walk through the tunnel a little bit more. There was a time that they, were so
they weren't even in the tunnel.
They weren't even in the tunnel, and the only light that they saw was the light that was on the first side of the tunnel, let alone what's shining through the other side. Yeah. That is a stupid analogy. But, I mean, they were historically bad last year with the many losses that they had, and they had new management comes in. The dude who used to play for the Padres, forget his fucking name, Will Venable comes in, and they clean up clean up their act a little bit. They are a little bit more scrappy. They're not. This isn't like a given that they're going to get swept or lose every series. Maybe they still lose every series, but it's not like so much as a given. I think there's a little bit more fight in this team. I'm a little bit more in fantasy if I'm streaming guys. I'm a little bit more hesitant knowing that the White Sox can play a little bit harder than they probably have in a while. So some scrappers. They are better. That's what I'm going to say. They're better. Still bad.
But, they're still 31-62. Let's not get it twisted. But
better. But better. They'll play you harder than they maybe used to over the past few seasons.
And then we're going to your boys, Kansas City Royals. One word for the Kansas City Royals, Spin.
See, I should have maybe thought of some words prior to the show. One word to describe KC. I'm going to say not finished.
Ooh. Okay.
It's 2 words.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do one. This team's not finished. I truly believe that with Kansas City. I think another way to look at Kansas City is for them to get hot, get to 500, and then take off. They have really yet to make that next leap this season. But I think they're not finished. I think that they will do that. I think they're on a 4-game win streak right now. I love to see them be – I don't think they can be 500 at the break. But they could either be over 500 or under 500 by the break. They're, 2 games under. So you can't be 500, right? It's possible to be 500 at the break. But if they sweep, which would be a big ask, that taking out a 7-game win streak entering the All-Star break, that would be nuts. Or they'll be 1 game under, or I guess it could be worse. But I'm going to be optimistic with them. I like to think that they're going in the break strong, nonetheless. And then I think after that, they could take advantage of the deadline. Even if it's not the biggest splash, sometimes it's not making the best moves, it's about making the right moves, and we know what they need. And if they can do those things and check off some boxes, I think they can weasel their way into the playoffs. I don't think they're finished.
So I was going to go – I was actually going to go to a different side of things. I was just going to say disappointing in general. Because this was a playoff team last year who – yeah, and granted, I think the Yankees gentlemen swept them last year, didn't they?
Don't remember. No, I don't think they did. I think Rodon got ahead of himself that one game.
Okay, then they played the Yankees. Either way, I was getting to the point, like, they played the Yankees well last year in the playoffs. They have a good starting rotation this year. The bats just haven't been there, and they should. Like, Bobby Witt's lacking in the power department. He's still an incredible player. Don't take that away from him. That's not what I'm trying to say. But, like, you want Bobby Witt in the MVP category every single year. That's what they expect out of him, and it's almost unfair that we hold him to those categories. He still could be an all-star starter. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he still could be. But disappointing because I believe that the Royals were going to compete to win this division. Granted, I didn't expect what the Tigers were doing, but I thought the Royals would be a shoo-in for a playoff team this year. Granted, you said they're not finished. They might not be finished. They could make some move at the deadlines, bring in some bats to help that team out, but they're disappointing to me so far this year.
I could see that. And, I mean, you talk about just them making the playoffs last year was a big deal for them. Like, that was good. Like, I like when kind of these young teams are like, that's what Bobby's 3rd year in the league was last year, and to get a taste of the playoffs for the first time and – whatever the fuck it is. Like there's somewhat of a younger core, and to get a taste of the playoffs, I think is good for them, especially it's the first playoff berth in a long time. They were a 100-loss team the season before. Just to be in the playoffs is good and get a taste of that and know that they're capable and be hungry to want to get back to that atmosphere. I think that's part of it, and I thought that's part of why I thought they were going to be successful this year, or at least more successful. Again, I don't think they're finished. I'm more optimistic. I'm more hopeful. But you liked it a little bit disappointing in the first half, given the fact that they got a taste of the playoffs, and then you like to think they want to get back there and they're hungry, and they haven't really played like a team that is all that hungry. But they're not finished. That's my point. Not finished.
All right, we'll get to the West then. Let's do the Houston Astros.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do the Astros. And mine is I am terrified. You want to know why I'm terrified? Because this team scares the living shit out of me. Everybody said it. This is the Houston Astros division until somebody fucking takes it from them. They're an organization that just somehow every single year is good. Their front office, their scouting department deserves a raise. They deserve steak dinners and blowjobs every single night. I mean, they've been unfucking believable. To get rid of Kyle Tucker so effortlessly, to get rid of some of these people in the Correa, so effortlessly. Springer, yes, sayonara. We got people. We got these guys. It's unbelievable and great. This year they were not supposed to be good. They're 55-38, first in the division, and they swept my team. They swept them. They have Framber, and Hunter Brown looks like a Cy Young. This team scares the shit out of me. I would not want to play this team come the playoffs.
Yeah, one thing we should have did in our standings check is they're on a 3-game losing streak, but guess what? Fuck it. I mean, I think that sucks more for Seattle to be on a 3-game losing streak and to really not make up any ground at all. So Houston, I only have 3 words. I'm bad at one word. 3 words: well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, it's 3, but I mean, put a hyphenated or something. I mean, this is since they've been now since 2017 when they won their first one. I know, controversy aside, they had the AJ Hinch era, then they go through the Dusty Baker era. Now it's the Joey Espada era. They've been doing it year after year with different cast members, different managers. They just show no signs of letting up. I thought they were still a playoff team this year, a second place team. I really thought more highly of Texas. I thought Houston could still sneak their way into the playoffs because they were still riding high on kind of, the culture and their winning culture that they've had for a while now. It's still without Tuve and Yordan Alvarez. I didn't think it was the end of the world, but I didn't think they were going to be this good. And when they come out and continue to be this good, it just shows you how good this organization has been for a long time. Yeah, they are fucking assholes. Everyone hates them for it, but they don't know when booze nobodies. You don't hate people because they suck. You hate them because they're really good, and you can't beat them. And if you're a Yankees fan, you know that we can't beat them. So what are you going to do? Houston is a well-oiled machine. They continue to kick ass, and yes, I'm scared of them too.
Let's do the Angels.
Okay. So I have a vibe. Again, it's hard to do one word. Yeah, so that's the vibe I'm going for.
That's what I was just to be completely transparent, I suck at words, so I've been looking up words this entire time. But I'm gonna go with a synonym for upcoming, and I'm gonna say looming.
Okay.
Looming. We talked about this yesterday a lot with the Angels. They have been a team in the past who has been very disappointing. They trade away some guys, they get some guys back, they sign bad deals, but finally it looks like they have some good ball players at some important spots. We talked about the catcher, shortstop, center fielder. You guys kind of have some there. You got the veteran in Trout. You got Kikuchi in the starting rotation. Like, they're starting to finally put some pieces together. And that's why I say looming and like upcoming, because this team, it's not their year this year. It isn't. But this is a very big step in the right direction. They're 3 games under 500. Yes, they're in 4th place, but if you're an Angels fan, you kind of almost got to be happy with it.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I was gonna say like up and up, like on the up and up. Like I was thinking the same fucking vibe. But since you touched on it, I might go a different direction and just say, don't fuck it up, because I think they have a history of doing it. They have the longest playoff drought active playoff drought in the majors. So don't fuck it up with the pieces that you have. You talked about it. Good catcher, good center fielder, guys up the middle that can ball out. Young guys everywhere. You have Trout there. I think if Ben Joyce is, I don't know what he's doing this year. I don't know his status. But if they're going to look at him as a flamethrower in high leverage roles for the future, because I don't think Kenley Jansen like a 1-year deal, and he's older. So if Ben Joyce is going to fulfill that role, learn from the vet and then do it. Like, that's good. And I think they have some vets that are good for the clubhouse. I think they make some moves at the deadline. I'd like to see them kind of tear down that pitching staff a little bit and maybe rebuild. And just in that staff. I like Shawnuel too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So not bad stuff. Don't fuck it up. And there's reason to believe they're on the up and up, but don't fuck it up.
And then we'll get to the East. We'll do the basement dwellers of the East. How about that?
Washington.
We'll do Washington, and then we'll go to the Braves next. So we'll start with Washington.
I'm going to say 2 words. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. I'm bad at one word. But that's the vibe, right? Nothing changes in Washington. Okay, I know they just fired the Mike Rizzo, the GM and president of baseball ops. I know they just fired Davey Martinez, their manager, longtime manager. And now they're 38-55 in last place. They have gone on some crazy losing streaks. Basically, in June and July, this not been good to them. But nothing really changes. I still think it's still about player development. It's still about getting the most out of these guys, giving them time. Gore's an all-star this year. James Wood's an all-star this year. Abrams was an all-star last year, and he hasn't really slowed down this year. I just think shortstop is a real damn good position. Even if he's the fourth best shortstop in the National League, loaded position. Because if Trey Turner's top 3, he didn't make the damn team either.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, loaded position that he plays, but he damn well could have been an all-star. And those are your big 3. I think Finnegan could get dealt at the deadline, and they're going to continue to build around it. I'd like to see more out of their catcher, Keibert Ruiz. And Luis Garcia Jr. I thought those guys were some good pieces in the past. I thought that maybe they've had better 2024s than they had 2025s, but we've seen glimpses of it this year. They need a third baseman. I like Brian Hayes for them. And then the outfield is loaded with young talent. Wood is the only guy that's really gone off to instant success, but it doesn't mean that Dylan Cruz won't have a good career. It doesn't mean that the Jacob Youngs or the Hassels or the Alex Calls or whatever, that they have a lot of pieces. They just have a lot of young pieces scattered around. They need to do more with the rotation. We know that. I mean, this isn't a rotation that's going to allow you to stay afloat. This is a rotation that has you as an under 500 team, which I think we figured. I don't think we thought it was be this bad, but maybe we were reading too much into the Wood, Abrams, Mackenzie Gore combination. And not that there's another 7 to 12 dudes that also have to step up.
Yeah.
But nothing changes. You're still about player development and still trying to strike gold in certain positions. They struck gold in a lot of pivotal positions. Now keep building, keep developing. And I think still by the end of the decade, they're pacing to be a good team yet again. But it's still going to be about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing changes.
Mine's the same as basically along the same as yours. My one word turns into 3, and it's going to be more the same. Same shit with you. I think what a lot is, and I think your best point of that was we gave too much credit to the Gore, Abrams, Wood kind of trio. It's 3 guys who are also 2 of them are actually they're not all in their rookie years. Abrams is still young. He's probably in his 3rd or 4th year, I want to say.
Yeah, maybe 3rd year.
And then Gore's in his 2nd, maybe 1st full year, and same thing with Wood.
Yeah.
So we almost gave too much credit to them. Great, they're going to be great. 2 of them are already all-stars, and like you said, Abrams will be an all-star here to come as well.
Mm-hmm.
They have a good young group, but like you said, other guys need to develop in that outfield, and they need more pieces around them. More of the same. They're going to be. Is this kind of going to be the conversation on them for the next 3 years? I'd say.
Yeah.
So next is the Braves. And mine's easy. It's flabbergasted.
Yeah.
Because if you told me the Braves were 12 games under 500 at the break in the beginning of the year, I would have laughed in your face. Because with that roster, that lineup, that pitching staff, there's no reason for this team to be this far under 500 in 4th place behind the Miami Marlins. Atlanta fans. What actually, listen, I'm flabbergasted about it, but I love it. I hate every single one of you Atlanta fans. You're all assholes, every single last one of you. So you deserve all this.
I think that's a good one. I think this is easily the biggest. I mean, because there was a time when I'm going to agree with you. By the way, I think that's a good word. There was a time we're talking about Texas and Baltimore and Boston and Atlanta, and I don't know if we were throwing Arizona in that mix, but just the underperforming teams of this year, and they were all in a similar boat. Well, now I think Atlanta is, and we were like, who's the most disappointing or most underperforming? I think it's clear now that we're 3 games away from the All-Star break. I mean, it has to be Atlanta. They're 12 games under, and they've gradually graduated to 4th place, or degraduated.
Yeah. DFA to 4th place.
Yeah, they backwards graduated to 4th place. That's nuts. So yeah, the only thing to be said is flabbergasted. There was a time I thought they were underperforming, but maybe they can get their shit together. Yeah. But
Albies, Harris have looked really bad this year too. It's those are 2 important people in your lineup that aren't performing, and then on the other side of things, the starters haven't been everything to write home about that they thought they were going to be.
Yeah, Profar's back. He looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, so it's wild. So they actually might have a. Never mind. I was lying. Because their offense is really underperforming. Their pitching staff has been pretty decent, They're probably sitting right around the league average for runs against, So, flabbergasted's a good one. Next, we're going to move on. We're going to go to the Central, the Brewers. The Brew Crew.
Yeah, I mean, their offense sucks donkey dick, though, huh?
Are you talking about the Braves?
The Braves.
Oh,
really,
yeah, they're horrible.
Really bad.
It's so
they can't
bad.
score. That was the common theme. I remember back when Chris Sale, before he got banged up, he was going out giving good starts and losing. Like, you can't. That just sucks. That who does that all the time? It's like the Pirates for Paul Skeens. Like, except the Braves have that for all their pitchers.
They have the third. It's the Rockies. The Pirates are in last, then the Rockies, and then it's the Braves.
Bad.
That's really bad.
Bad.
And then you know who's actually second? I mean, fourth, like right above them, is the Padres at 373.
Wow. That's nuts.
That's really bad.
Padres have 50 wins. The Padres are 50 and 43, with the Braves are 40 and 52. So that's crazy. Well, you know what it is also? I think it's the Padres bullpen's able to keep them in games where Iglesias and some of those guys in that pen has been fucking them.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Yeah, and Schwelly didn't look good at the start of the year either. Strider was hurt. Sale is now hurt. So you got to take that into account. But let's move on. Let's go to the Central. We'll start with the Brew Crew.
How do I want to say this? I think I misjudged them.
Misjudged?
I misjudged them, or I overlooked them.
Yeah.
I thought I have them in second place, but before the season started, I pretty much had this division pinned. Maybe with the exception of St. Louis and Cincinnati, which they're kind of neck and neck. But if you flip-flop them, that's how I had the division playing out. Cubs, Milwaukee, Cincy, St. Louis, Pittsburgh was my prediction. St. Louis ahead of Cincy at the moment. So I had them kind of pinned as a second-place team, but they have a lot of fight in them. This is their division. I think they know that. I think I didn't think they had it all put together. And I think that they go out and they play baseball like a team that has it all put together. They manufacture runs. They put pressure on teams. They are not afraid to play small ball. I mean, hard 90s, all day. They do play a really good brand of baseball, and I think I like their manager, Pat Murphy. He seems like a good dude. So maybe I overlooked them. I tend to always overlook Milwaukee, and they always kind of prove me wrong. Not that they ever do anything in the playoffs, but I think if the season would end today, they are a playoff. Yeah,
they're the first in the wild card.
They would be the fourth seed, So okay, they always kind of find their way into the playoff contention. I had them not being a playoff team this year. They're kind of proving me wrong. So they play better ball than I think I give them credit for, and it's not the first time I've done that.
Brewers, I'd say on point, because I've believed in the Brewers kind of all year. I like their pitching staff, especially with the addition of Mizorowski coming up is like what do you always say?
A fucking godsend.
Yeah, well, godsend, but
it's like almost like a trade deadline acquisition.
Yeah, exactly, because he comes up halfway through the year and he's this lights out. People are already talking. Yeah, people are already putting them in like Skeens comparisons because they're going to be pitching against each other a ton in the years to come. But I'd say on point. The Brewers, like you said, they've won this division the past couple. I thought they were going to win this division again this year. I still might be right. I don't know. We'll see how the Cubs trend in the second half, how the Brewers trend in the second half. There's a lot of ifs going on. But on point. They're a playoff team. I knew they were going to be a playoff team. Sal Frelick, Jackson Chourio, both have had pretty good years out in that outfield there. Yelly's looked decent. Mm-hmm. You get to second base, and your guy, Bryce Turang, also. And even like Contreras behind the dish hasn't had a great year, but he's still – he's a veteran presence that you love to have as well. If they can figure out that left side of the infield come this deadline, I think Chicago does need to keep an eye out.
Yeah, I'd be wary of Milwaukee. I think their holes they might have more holes than Chicago, but they play a damn good brand of baseball, and their pitching might be better. So scary.
And then we get to so who do you want to do in this one? Do you want to do the Cardinals or the Reds?
Well, they're similar. They're similar teams. I think we could think of a word that both could relate to both.
Okay, we can get
because they are similar. Unpredictable.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. We're gonna ride with that. Let's go unpredictable. I like that.
Kind of applies to both of them.
Yeah, because like the Reds, sometimes they look like one of the greatest teams in the league, and then sometimes they look like the worst team in the league. They have. Listen, they're young. Ellie. This is his third or fourth year. I want to say. Then you get like Friedel out in the outfield. He's been pretty good as well. Austin Hayes has been up and down, have put together a solid year. Who else am I thinking of?
I think Spencer Steer's finding it.
Spencer Steer, yeah. So Gavin Lux even, you know what I mean? Like they're up and down. And then same thing on the Cardinals side of things. You have young guys who have shown you they can perform this year. Brendan Donovan, all-star, second baseman. Mason Wins looked good at short. Arenado, veteran presence. You moved Contreras to first base. You're making the right moves if you're the St. Louis Cardinals, but they've had a really up and down year kind of thing, especially with that pitching staff.
Yeah, and the Cardinals are 6 games over. The Reds are 2 games over. And then actually on a 2-game win streak, so they were 500. But that's how weird they can be, right? It's like they'll go on a crazy. They have the ability to go on a crazy win streak, and we've seen the Cardinals go on a crazy win streak too, and really kind of get back over 500. They've been over 500 since that win streak, so good for them, St. Louis. I don't think either of these teams are all the way there yet. I think Cincy actually might be in a little bit of a better position than St. Louis is, because I don't know. We'll just have to see how they continue to trend. But unpredictable, erratic teams this year. It's like very trendy.
Like Alec Burleson had a hell of a June.
I like Burleson. I like Victor Scott a little bit. But
good little ball player.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on, and we'll do 3 again. We'll do Giants, Padres, and the Diamondbacks.
Giants, Padres, Diamondbacks. The 2, 3, 4 teams.
Yeah.
We'll see how much they fluctuate.
So the Diamondbacks, I'm going to get the Diamondbacks out of the way, and I'm just going to say mid. They're fucking mid. Offense is above mid. Pitching staff is really below sucking mid. I mean, we just talked.
It evens out.
Yeah, so it evens out right to the middle. We're averaging these guys over here. It evens out to mid, and that's what their roster shows. They can't get above 500 for more than a week. They can't stay below 500 for more than a week. They're 48 and 46. They're 23 and 25 home, and they're 23 and 23 away. Like it's just it's the most beautiful blend of mid I've ever seen out of a team. And like I said earlier, with this lineup, they're third in the was it the whole entire league, or was it the whole entire league in runs scored? But guess what? They're bottom 3 and runs against. So I mean, it's
here's the another thing with Arizona, and I'm not going to go deep on it because you pretty much touched on it. My word, I agree with mid. I also maybe say disappointing because I thought they were going to be a second place team, and it's looking like definitely not now. I held on to it though. I was snakes alive for a long time, and now at a certain point, like you get to a point of the season, you know who these teams are. But either way, I look at their record against above 500 teams, 27 and 31 against above 500 teams. So that's a losing record against above 500 teams. They're 2 games under 500 with a losing record against above 500 teams. The 3 teams ahead of them in their division are all above 500. How can you compete with those teams in your division if you don't play if you're under 500 against above 500 teams? And I think part of it is their bullpen, where good teams are going to be able to score late and give it to you late, and they can't hold on the leads, and they're 2 games under because of it. 4th place. Who knows if it's terribly late? I mean, they have 46 wins. The second place team, Giants, have 51 wins. They have to make up a lot of ground. It's not. I don't say it's impossible until it's mathematically impossible. I won't say it's impossible, but they put themselves in such a fucking hole, and disappointing because I thought they'd be better.
And then we'll just go one up, Padres. And I'm glad you brought up the under the above 500 record, because this is where I want to touch on with the Padres. Because my word is bully. The Padres, all they seem to do is beat up on the bad teams. They beat up on the below 500 teams. And then when it's time to play above 500, the good guys, the playoff teams, they're 16 and 30. So that's why I'm going with bully. Beat up on the small guy. Can't seem to face a guy your own size, though.
Yeah, I like that. And maybe another word would be pretenders.
Ooh.
We should actually, maybe when we get a little bit closer, we could play contenders or pretenders.
Yeah.
That's a fun little game. But I think Padres are pretenders, and I hate the Padres. So it should be no secret there. I think the Padres are I didn't have them as a playoff team to start the season. Wait, did I? No, I didn't. I had them as a 3rd place team to start the season. And again, I had San Fran and Arizona kind of flip-flopped. But yeah, I think I would never bet on the Padres. Never bet on the Padres ever. And when you look at their record against under 500 teams, they're pretenders.
And then we'll do the Giants to cap it off.
Oh, the Giants. I'm going to say shocking, but not as shocking as people might say.
It's a lot of words.
Yeah, shocking, but not as it's like 9. But what's the word for that? It's like it's not as shocking as people might think, but it's a little shocking. I thought they were going to be good. I didn't think they would be this good. That's my bottom line.
Giants, I was going to put incomplete. Incomplete.
Yeah.
Incomplete. Because this team is good. but they need more pieces. They need to address. I would say a lot. I'm kind of shocked that they're 51-43. Like their offense has a lot of holes, but they seem to score runs when it matters, and that's really the only thing that kind of matters. Is that you hit when you need to.
Yeah,
and that's what this Giants team does. They probably like to have a little bit more of a cushion when you have like a Logan Webb and Robbie Ray, especially in your rotation. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Who do you roll out in a playoff series? Like, who's your big three? We know the first two are all-stars, and then it's a
Landon and then you have Rodriguez in your pen, and he's an all-star this year. So like you have pieces all around. You just need a little bit more if you want to be that true contender at the end of the year.
They don't have any all-stars from their offense, right? No.
And let Posey go eat. He wants to go get. He's obviously hungry. He went out, got Devers for practically nothing. I mean, like
he's just eating that contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Still, they see themselves as all in this year.
Yeah.
And, so why not?
Go freaking get it. But yeah, that kind of concludes our one word, not one word. Standings check. Want to get into the what Hot American Weekend's been?
Should have put this little graphic up. That was the segment. Now we go ahead. What Hot American Weekend, baby. So this is our first Friday show in a while.
Yeah. So I mean, this started off hot. Chicago Cubs versus the Yankees traveling to the Bronx. We got
the Alfonso Soriano series.
Chris Flexen versus Rodon. Matthew Boyd versus Max Fried. 2 all-stars, if I might say so myself. It's Max Fried, Cy Young. Boyd's look damn good this year as well.
Lefty all-stars.
And then nothing to blink at on Sunday with the Shota versus Will Warren matchup. This is going to be a damn good series.
Yeah, I wonder what Flexen has been doing. I remember Chris Flexen years ago with Seattle, but I haven't heard his name in a while.
Yeah.
Is he just like alive? He has 32.2 innings pitched this year. I guess I just been
0.83 ERA. So this is like a spot start. He's probably going to pitch like a couple innings.
I guess they might be using him as like an opener. Yeah. I don't know, but I don't. So we'll see how they use an opener on a night game before a day game to start the series. So we'll see. It is the All-Star break coming up, so maybe that they're more inclined to just say fuck it and they can throw some arms. We'll see. You know who we'll see? We'll see our fucking guy Drew Pomeranz in this series.
True. Yeah. Give me. I'm gonna go Yanks, Cubs.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think they're hot. 6-game win streak for the Yanks.
I'm gonna go a little. I want to say the Yankees are gonna win this. I like Imanaga. I like Boyd. It's tough to bet against Fried. Okay, I'll agree with you. Yanks. I like Yanks tonight for sure. Fuck Flexen. Rodon, get it done. Boyd and Fried's gonna be must-watch TV.
Yeah.
The left-handers, the All-Stars. It's on the network. But I don't think the Yankees are gonna sweep. And Imanaga can be. He's a little bit of a big game pitcher. I'll respect Imanaga. Fuck it.
And then we get to Seattle at Detroit. We got Castillo versus Skubal, Kirby versus Mize, and then Gilbert versus Flattery. So good little series here. Seattle needs a kind of like kick in the ass, and Detroit, I actually think.
I don't even know what to call this series.
Detroit 7-3 in their last 10, still killing it, obviously. I like Detroit to win 2 out of 3 here. I'm probably going to go Detroit, Seattle, Detroit.
I'm thinking to go tough. That means Skubal at home, right?
Yeah, you can't really bet against Skubal.
And I'm not a huge Luis Castillo fan. Good pitching duels though, right? Castillo,
all across it. Yeah.
Kirby, Mize is going to make for a good little pitching duel also. But yeah, I'm going to take Detroit on that day. I like Casey Mize.
I like that too. Kirby's look decent.
And then I think Gilbert and Flaherty could be a good little matchup. I think Gilbert can come out and shove. They can avoid a sweep at least. That's actually going to put Seattle. How many games losing streak is that for Seattle if they lose the first 2?
It would be a 5-game losing streak.
I think that's what they're about going to do. And then I think I think they can win Gilbert's start. I'm not a big Flaherty fan.
Yeah.
But not bad, not good. Gilbert, I think, could really find it. I could see Gilbert having a really good post All-Star break, and maybe it starts here.
So this next one, we don't really need to touch on. It's 2 bad teams. Pittsburgh traveling to Minnesota. Only thing that's really notable about this is we got Paul Skeens versus Joe Ryan. That's going to be good tonight. So that's almost must-see TV for the first 7 innings that they pitch. Then you can turn the game off. But I'm going to go with Minnesota to win because the Pittsburgh never seems to win for Paul Skeens. They also haven't been throwing Paul Skeens deep recently. They've been pulling him pretty early. But then give me I'll go with Mike Burrows on Saturday and Heaney on Sunday. Give me a Pittsburgh series win.
Yeah, I mean Skeens and Ryan and Joe Ryan. Skeens and Joe Ryan, 8-10 in the Twin Cities. Who did you have tonight?
I'm gonna go Twins and then the Pirates win the next two.
Ooh, well, that's crazy.
Yeah, I just don't think they win for Skeens, and I think Joe Ryan can keep Minnesota in the game until the bullpen comes in for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, okay. Let me take the opposite then, and let me say Skeens here. I think they got to win his last start before the All-Star break. And by the way, if Skeens pitches today, does that mean he's not available to be the starter at the All-Star game?
No, he'll be fine.
Will he be fine?
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I don't know how.
I think Wheeler's gonna get the start though.
Well, Wheeler's pitches tomorrow, so
so probably not. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe you got to throw fucking Ohtani. No, Ohtani pitches this weekend too. I don't know. Who are they gonna throw? Fucking Robbie Ray. Anyway,
Robbie Ray's out. That's who Peterson replaced.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Maybe Peterson starts the game.
Oh God, I'd shoot myself in the head.
He definitely is not. But either way, I don't know because there's a lot of good guys pitching this weekend. This weekend is full of aces. But what do you expect every weekend? I guess is. That's how rotations work, baby. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. Then I'm going to take Pittsburgh and Mike Burrows. I like Mike Burrows. Plus, it's TBD. Fuck it. That guy sounds like a piece of shit. And then I'll take Minnesota to avoid a sweep. But I hate Minnesota. So let's go. Maybe Pittsburgh wins the series before the break.
And there we get nothing really to write home about this one. Atlanta. Grant Holmes is the only one they know is pitching. Then you get to St. Louis. And they got Liberatore, Fetty, and Gray. I think St. Louis wins this series. I'd probably go with the... give me Liberatore tonight. Actually, fuck it. I'm going to go St. Louis sweeps.
Nice. You know what? I don't know why it took Pittsburgh 2 out of 3 in Minnesota. That's like has all the makings of a Minnesota takes 2 out of 3 or some shit. But whatever. I don't give a fuck. Well, you took 2 out of 3 of Pittsburgh too.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. I love it. Let's go Pittsburgh. It's, you got to ride with some of these crazy ones sometimes. Plus, it's a snooze fest of a series.
Yeah, I know.
Who wants to watch that one? Atlanta, St. Louis, at least, yeah, it's maybe not. It's maybe a little more lopsided, but at least Atlanta has guys that you would tune in to watch.
Mm-hmm.
There's just some familiar names there. So you have St. Louis winning the series or sweeping. I'll take St. Louis at home tonight. Something about Friday at home. These teams that kind of want to lean that way. I'll take Fettuccine, and then fuck it, I'll ride with you.
Yeah, a little St. Louis sweep over Atlanta. Fuck Atlanta.
Someone's gonna have to pitch
for
Atlanta, right? I mean, who's it gonna be? When does Strider's rotation come up?
Then we get to Milwaukee, Baltimore. Another kind of snooze fest, but we got Eduardo Cabrera, Jansen Junk, and Perez for Miami. So 3 good guys, some guys who could be on the move too. Baltimore, you get Dean Kremer versus and then Trevor Rogers and Brandon Young. I actually think Baltimore's going to win this series.
Okay.
I'd probably have them winning. I'd probably go Baltimore tonight against Cabrera, even though Cabrera's look damn good.
Oh, really?
I want to give Cabrera's look good. Give me Jansen Junk on Saturday, and then Brandon Young on Sunday, I guess. Even though Yuri Perez hasn't been too bad either.
Yeah, so I think Cabrera, Jansen Junk, Perez, all those Miami dudes have been really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if they get enough credit, but I mean, part of the reason why I think Miami's a third place. Now, they're not that good of a third place team.
No, they're not. They're like 12 games under, or they're like 7 games under 500.
Whatever. Yeah, they're not like that good of a third place team, but, strength of the division matters, I guess. So, but they were a last place team at a certain point, and they climbed up greatly. Also, teams fell. But a big part of them climbing and teams falling is going to be pitching, and Miami's getting some really good outings from a Jansen Junk, Yuri Perez, Edward Cabrera. Not in that order for the weekend, but Edward Cabrera for tonight. I'm going to ride with him. He's a spin streamer. And fuck Dean Kremer. I guess I'm also going to ride with Jansen Junk tomorrow. And fuck Trevor Rogers. Let's go Jansen Junk. And then I don't think they sweep. I think Baltimore. I don't think Brandon Young's been anything good at in the slightest. But I don't think they sweep. But I think Baltimore probably goes into the All-Star break with a series loss. That would just make sense to how they finish their first half. That's how they cap their first half of the season.
Next one, not good series, division series right before. Love this. Right before the break, let's get a division series in. Yeah. Dodgers traveling to San Fran, short trip. Dustin May, Logan Webb, Shohei, Landon Rupp, and then Yamamoto versus Robbie Ray, a pair of all-stars facing off. Damn.
On Roku though.
Fuck.
No, I think you might be able to get that on the network. I mean, on the package though. I don't know.
All right. Well, anyway. Going to be a damn good series. Dodgers actually have the longest losing streak right now in the MLB with 6 games.
Yeah.
So that is also kind of shocking, and it's not any fault on their hitting; it's all their pitching. But like this Shohei experiment might be hurting them more than it's helping them because they're using a lot of bullpen every single time he pitches.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. They have a good enough record though, so they can really do whatever the fuck they want. Give me Logan Webb tonight. Dustin May hasn't looked great. Give me Shohei on Saturday. And whoever pitches after that, I guess, is really the one I should be saying. But then I like Yamamoto on Sunday.
I think I'm going to agree. I do think it's tough to go Webb tonight. I mean, Webb's the better pitcher. But the reason it's tough is because, I mean, the Dodgers, are they going to go to 7 straight losses?
And that's hard to believe.
So that's what's tough, but I don't want to bet against Logan Webb, so I'll say Logan Webb at home in that ballpark. Fuck it. And then I agree. I think the Dodgers aren't going to – they have to start winning eventually. They're too good not to, so I think they win the next 2.
Yeah. So then we get to Colorado at Cincy. Only really thing good about this whole entire series.
Actually, I'm changing it. I think Robbie Ray gets it done.
Ooh, San Francisco win.
Yeah, they take the series.
All right, I
so
like
the Dodgers
that.
will snap their losing streak on Saturday. They'll still lose tonight. Snap it on Saturday.
So you think they're just going to have a long skid right before the break, and they need this break pretty bad?
Yeah, it'll be a much-needed break. They'll still have possession at first place, but San Fran also wants to climb in the standings. They're going to play you hard, and I think Robbie Ray can shove.
Yeah, all right. Well, next series is Colorado-Cincinnati. Only thing really good about this series is Chase Burns is going to pitch on Friday. Chase Burns has looked decent coming up so far. He's a young guy. We're excited for him. We're excited for that Central's pitching staff. Then you got Singer Martinez for Cincy, and then Colorado's got Marquez, Block, and Gomber. I'm going to actually go Cincinnati sweep.
Okay, I like that. So Chase Burns going for his first win of the season. He got a loss in his second outing against the Red Sox. He looked good against the Phillies.
Yeah, his ERA's blown up because of that Boston series. But listen, he looked good against the Phils. He's going to be all right. He's a young kid. He's freaking like 20. He just got drafted. What, last year? 2 years ago?
Yeah, well, he has a really good. Every team he's played is over 500. Yankees,
exactly.
Red Sox, Phillies in that order. All of them have 50 wins. So right now, maybe when he played Boston, they weren't good. But
look him go dominate.
Yeah, I guess they were probably still over 500 when he played them. Wasn't that long ago. So he's going for his first win. Now he's got Colorado. So it's not. He just come off the Phillies.
Yeah,
he just got shelled against Boston. Yankees was his debut. Now it's Colorado. This is a different team than that. I'll agree with Cincy tonight. Bradley Blaylock. I'm gonna take Blaylock. Fuck it.
Damn.
You took Cincy sweeping.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're gonna sweep. Maybe they do. Safe bet would say they do. Who knows how conservative some of these guys are before the break? I don't know if that's even a thing. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. I don't know what I said. But they'll take Nicky Martinez and the boys, get it going. Maybe Martinez will be a spin streamer on Sunday. But Cincy, Colorado, Cincy. 2 out of 3 Cincy.
Another division series. I'm liking what the MLB is doing right now. We got some stinkers, but we got some good ones as well. We got Tampa Bay, Boston. Boston. This is a huge, huge opportunity for Boston. And Tampa Bay, I think they were 3-7 in their last 10. They need to bounce back. But you do it by bringing out your guys. Rasmussen, Baz, Pepio for Boston. But then on the opposite side, not sure who they're throwing tonight. I guess we can probably find that out somehow. But Saturday, we got Garrett Crochet. And then Sunday, Brian Bello. What do you think here, Spin? Bueller went last night.
He went last. I knew I just saw his fucking name.
Yeah.
Yeah, who the fuck knows pitches for them? Maybe it's one of those guys they got from San Fran. Who knows? In the Wade Boggs series, so I don't know. So Rasmussen's new role is, I love Rasmussen. I was going to say he was an all-star, or he could have been on our all-star snub team. Mm-hmm. The only reason I didn't mention him the other day is because he's being used more as an opener now, just to kind of help preserve his arm for down the line. So he hasn't been going as deep in the game. So I think he'll be used as an opener.
Dobbins is going tonight.
Hunter. So since Rasmussen isn't going deep into this game, I'm going to take Boston to win the first one. Dobbins has been kind of a big game pitcher. I don't know. He doesn't shy away from the bright lights. I'll put it that way. Dobbins has been all right. He'll talk his shit and back it up. At least he did against the Yankees.
4-1 with a 4-1.
So yeah, not pretty, but Rasmussen isn't going to go deep in this game. So I'll lean Boston at home for the first one. I like Shane Baz a lot, but he's not having the greatest season. He's having a fine season. He gets a lot of wins. His ERA is a little higher than what I like because I do like Baz. But I think they'll play. I'll have to take Crochet because it's tough to bet against them. And then I think fuck Brian Bello. I think Pepio and the boys can get it going on MLB Network on Sunday. They avoid a sweep, but Boston can be sneaky, can come from behind, and that would put Boston at what?
8 games.
8 games. Or what did you have for the series?
I'm doing the same exact thing.
Okay.
It's for every single reason that you just said.
Okay, good. So that'll put them at 8 games, and then Tampa Bay will avoid.
And then that might switch up the standings.
If they take 2 out of 3 here?
Yeah. That would. Boston would shoot ahead. Actually, this team, the only thing right now separating them is a half a game. So this series is huge for both of them.
They would be, a half a game in front?
No, if they won 2, they'd be 1.5 games up. Because they'd be 52 and 45. 52 and 46.
Yeah.
And then they would be 51 and
46.
So, yeah, you're right. Half game. Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, half game.
Still, that'd be crazy rolling into the break like that.
All right. Well, next one, stinker, Cleveland.
And if the Yankees don't play their fucking cards right against the White Sox, everyone will have 52 wins.
That's going to be rough. But then you get stinker, Guardians, White Sox. Who cares? Southside of Chicago. Shane Smith and Sean Burke are pitching now with Aaron Savali coming up on Sunday, and then Williams, Bibby, and Cantillo, whatever, on Sunday for Cleveland. Gavin Williams versus Shane Smith might be fun. I don't know. Nobody can really hit.
These are the 2 worst teams in the division.
Yeah, give me Shane Smith and Sean Burke, and then I'll go with the Guardians on Sunday.
So
that's so bad. The White Sox never win. I can't believe I'm having them win this.
Well, sometimes they can quietly win a series, and Cleveland has been, I think, the worst team in the division their last 10. They're 3-7 their last 10, which makes them the coldest in the division. However, they have a 3-game win streak. These are the 2 worst teams in the division. However, there's a big difference between Cleveland 43 wins and White Sox 31 wins, but both hella under 500. Now, I talked on Spin Streamers, Gavin Williams versus Shane Smith last night, and I think there's reason to like either one. I lean Gavin Williams. I think he can pitch better, even though it's in the White Sox. So I'll have to just back my Spin Streamer pick and take Gavin Williams.
They just swept the Astros.
Ooh. So we'll go with that. I kind of want to like Bibee. Maybe they can get back on track. Sorry, Sean Burke. He's pitched well. I mean, he pitched. No one's gonna remember that he pitched when Kershaw got 3,000.
Yeah.
He was the guy who was pitching on the other side and pitched better than Kershaw. But that's not the storyline of that game. It was the bullpen that ended up ultimately blowing that for Sean Burke and his win. He should have got a win in that game. So he looked really good. So fuck it. Sorry, Bibby. You haven't been my guy this year. Usually he's my guy. He's not my guy. So let's take Burke. I'll ride that after that being said. And then let's take Cantillo. I'll take Cleveland on Sunday. It'll take 2 out of 3.
And then we get to the Mets, Kansas City. Kodai, is this his first start back?
I think it is.
And then versus Waka, Montez versus Lorenzen, and then TBD versus Cameron. I would love it if the Mets lost this series. I don't think they're going to.
I hope they do.
I think Kodai gets it done tonight.
First start back?
Yeah, I think he does. He's a good pitcher.
Yeah, but they might be conservative with him.
I know they might. They're probably going to be.
Or he goes like 8 scoreless and then he gets named to the fucking All-Star team. Because I guess that's just what people do now.
Yeah.
Because what it didn't
Peterson just did that.
He went like 7.
Yeah. Damn, Frankie Montas sucks. Give me Lorenzen on Saturday, and then I don't want to bet against Noah Cameron because Noah Cameron hasn't been bad. He's been actually kind of good. 256 right now. Damn.
Come on, take Noah.
Give me Noah.
Let's go. I'm just trying to think of a guy like what's the name of the series? The Mets and Royals is the what series? Oh, the Seth Lugo series. Nice.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay, so there's that. That's a fun one. You never see these teams play. I'm gonna take KC to open up tonight strong.
Mm-hmm.
Then what's gonna happen is Michael Lorenzen is gonna keep him strong, and then Noah Cameron stays strong. KC that puts them over 500 at the All-Star break. That's what they need.
Michael Wacha has a 5.4 ERA with 5-4 record, 3.76 with 52 strikeouts and 9 appearances versus the Mets.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
And Montez was a former A. He knows KC a little bit. Former Yankee too. So he's had a lot of time in the AL Montez had. So
we'll see.
He knows this team. But hey, listen, Lorenzen was a Philly. He knows the Mets too.
We'll see.
For like a cup of coffee. But.
We get Washington and Milwaukee. Milwaukee, I think this is a clear cut. All right. Mitchell Parker versus Quinn Judas Priester. And then
Wow. Oh yeah, Shinosuke Ogasawara.
Shinosuke Ogasawara versus Brandon Woodruff. Give me Brandon Woodruff. Then
who'd you have on the first one? Did you have Judas Priester?
Yeah. Damn, I think they're gonna sweep. I have 3 sweeps already. Shit.
And that's Freddie over Irvin.
Yeah.
You know who I'm gonna do? I don't know much about this Shinosuke Ogasawara. I know he got blown up in his last 2 like 2 2/3 innings. Got blown up in his first start. I guess it was a start. He just didn't go deep because he got blown the fuck up. Maybe that was against Boston. I forget. I don't know why Boston. Every time I look, Boston's blowing someone up. Woodruff, does he do it 2 times in a row? Yes, he does. I'll start with Saturday and work around it because Woodruff, he looked good in his first outing. Was that against the Dodgers?
I think so.
Do we know? I think it was, which is fantastic if you're Woodruff because now he's got a lesser opponent. It was at Miami, might be. So it was at Miami, but now you have a lesser opponent either way, and you're home. So he's making his first home start against the last place Washington team. So I'd like Woodruff on Saturday for sure. You know what? I also like Freddie Peralta there for sure. And you know what? I'll also take Milwaukee sweep.
Sweep.
Nice.
Got brooms.
That's crazy. So and the Cubs, we had the Cubs losing the series. Yeah. So we're gonna see a new first place too.
Wow, that'd
be something to talk about on Monday.
Yeah.
We have to revisit that on Monday.
And then we get another Battle of Texas. The Rangers going to Houston. Jack Leiter versus Lance McCullers. This might be Lance's first start since he was injured, right?
He did re-injure himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Since he re-injured himself.
So let's see. This would be an incredible Nolan Ryan series. His last start was the 4th, so he's the 28th.
He's had a couple. He's had 2.
He's been steady rocking. Oh yeah, so I guess he landed a little bit here. It was on like the 10-day IL or 15 or whatever it was. And
got blown up by the Cubs.
And then pitch well at the Dodgers.
This guy's all over the fucking place.
He's all over the place. So what does he do tonight?
Show me Jack Leiter. What's he look like?
Oh, not good. He's like 4-6 with a 4.73 or 4.31. I just looked at it last night.
All right. Well, Houston just got swept.
4-6 with a 4.32.
Houston just got swept. They're too good of a team to do 4 games. So give me Lance McCullers tonight. Framber versus DeGrom. Oh baby,
pair of all-stars. Oh, yeah. Actually, no, not an all-star.
Should be pair of all-stars.
Yeah.
Wow, we got good pick. And then Eovaldi versus Hunter Brown. This is a really good series,
also
man.
Arguably a pair of all-stars.
Wow. Right? All right.
The 1 and the 2 and the 1 and the 2.
Give me DeGrom Saturday and then Hunter Brown Sunday. I don't like betting against DeGrom. I don't like betting against Framber either, though.
So we got what?
Or Eovaldi. Damn.
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll with you. And I'm going to say, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to I'm going to take my picks out of spite.
Okay.
So I have McCullers over Leiter because that's, Houston just lost, at least 3 in a row? Was it 3 in a row? They got swept.
Yeah.
And now they're home. Leiter hasn't been all that. I think they shell him, which sucks. But now, since DeGrom's the all-star and Framber got snubbed, I'm going to take my picks out of spite and say that Framber gets pissed off and pitches his dick off. They're going to get a win there. Not that DeGrom pitches bad. DeGrom might not even get a loss, but I think Framber gets a win. And then Brown's the all-star, but Eovaldi might arguably be a snub. So I'll take him and the boys on that day.
All right. I like that. I like that pitching out, doing it out of spite. But then we get to Philly, San Diego. San Diego,
the
we
John
know.
Kruk series.
They struggle. They struggle against above 500 teams in Philly, first place right now. And you're also facing Ranger, Wheeler, and Sanchez.
3 all-stars. Oh, no.
Oh, shut up.
Only one is. Because Peterson is.
Yeah, fucking asshole. Ranger's going to shove tonight. Like, Ranger's going to shove tonight. They win tonight.
Yeah, so we use the same logic as the Texas series.
Yeah.
The guys who get snubbed, they want to say fuck it.
I mean, Pivetta also didn't make an all-star team.
Yeah, he didn't deserve it.
He didn't.
He's no Sanchez.
No, he's not a fucking asshole. What was I just looking up?
Were you looking at Ranger?
No, not Ranger. Oh, who's pitching tonight?
It's not. Is it not Cease? Randy Vasquez, Cease. Fucking. I don't even know who else they have. I already have my picks in. I'm taking Phillies to sweep, baby. I don't care who pitches tonight. I don't care. Hey, how about this? Philly going down.
Oh, give me sweep. We own the Padres. Fuck them.
Let's go, Philly sweep. I mean, but also you have to understand who's throwing. Suarez,
the
Wheeler,
three-headed
Sanchez,
monster.
very good. So Wheeler's the only all-star out of all of them. You can make a damn good case why they should all be all-stars. This might be Darvish's second or third start back off the IL. That game will be on Fox on Saturday. It's also not the Sunday night game. It has to be the Sunday night game. What time do they play on Sunday?
They don't. They play at 4:10.
Yeah, but what time? I could have fucked it up. This is the
1:10. No.
On Sunday?
Yeah.
So I did fuck it up, but it's all my times are off. I think it's the Sunday night game. No? What else would be? What else would be this? I think I typed it in wrong.
No, I'm looking at it right now. It's not.
Unless they just don't have a Sunday night game because
the home run derby and everything.
Guys got to travel the next day, or maybe I just fucked up the times. I don't fucking know.
I also think they're home. No. Oh, I'm on the wrong. Yeah, they are home.
Well, here, we got to go to a different fucking website.
Yeah, this is really screwing me up.
The Padres are home.
Yeah, the Padres are home.
So, I mean, Ranger stud versus TBD. I don't even know who the fuck it is, but MLB Network tonight. Zach Wheeler, Darvish. Again, I got to lean these Phillies pitching, and we talked about the Padres struggling against over 500 teams. I think the Phillies definitely win the series. I'm going to go out of my way and say sweep, but Sanchez, Pivetta, I don't like Pivetta at all, and Sanchez is a stud. So tough to go against that three-headed monster. I also love how they're separated, lefty, righty, lefty. You're not really getting too much anything. Wheeler does a really good job of separating those two lefties there, and I think they just come
There's
out.
There's no Sunday night game this Sunday.
Okay, so maybe they're just one of the more. They're just like an afternoon. It's an evening affair.
Yeah, the one big one's the one on Roku.
Well, it's an evening affair in terms of West Coast times. So for East Coast, it's evening. For them, it's what? It's like 1:10. Yeah. Whatever. Philly sweep because Philly's going down.
That was horrible.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Arizona traveling to Anaheim. Ryan Nelson, Reen versus Tyler Anderson. Gallen versus Kikuchi, and then Kelly versus Soriano.
Decent pitching in this.
You know what? Arizona gets back to 500. They win 2 out of 3 here. Give me Gallen and Kelly.
Would that get him to 500 though?
No, I think it'd still be 1 game below, but they get closer.
They get an inch closer.
They get closer.
So, okay, over a decent Angels team. The Angels are pacing pretty all right. So, who do you have tonight?
I'm going to take Angels tonight with Tyler Anderson on the bump.
Don't hate Anderson. That game will be on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, because I know everybody's going to tune into that. Then Gallen and Kelly. So, give me Arizona the next 2.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I almost want to say that. Yeah, I think when in doubt, I just can take the home team on Friday night.
Yeah,
it's Friday Night Lights. They're at home. Let's take them. No, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to roll with Reen. I'm going to roll with Reen Nelson and the boys. They're on a 1-game losing streak. They're both on 1-game losing streak. I don't know if that's a streak, but okay. Then I'm going to roll with Kikuchi, who's an all-star. He'll be an all-star. He gets a win on Saturday. That's cool. And then I'll roll with also take 2 out of 3 Arizona, but I think it's AZ, Angels with Kikuchi, and then Merrill Kelly, who's pitched well.
That's fair because Gallen hasn't looked good and Kikuchi has, so that's fair. Kikuchi all-star.
Kikuchi all-star.
And
then might be their lone representative, but
he is their lone. Yeah,
I think it's deserved.
Toronto versus the A's. Scherzer on the bump versus Luis
Frank
Severino.
Thomas series.
Gausman versus Lopez and Berrios versus Springs.
They're big. Well, I shouldn't say they're big 3, but I think Bassett would be in their big 3. But Scherzer, going for his first win of the season, he has the right team to do it against.
Mm-hmm. Give me. I don't think he gets it though.
Oh, I do.
I'm gonna go with Louis.
He's been a shit show this year. Except Sevy. I don't hate the Sevy.
So is Scherzer.
No, not as bad. Not as bad as Scherzer's been pretty cleaned up compared to Sevy.
And then I'll take Gausman and Berrios for the win the next 2.
Gausman, Berrios. See, I just really don't like the A's. Scherzer was a spin streamer. I think he can come out and get his first win of his Blue Jays career this tonight against Sevy, who has not looked good. Plus, Toronto's been the hotter team. I think they can score early and often against Severino. And all Scherzer has to do is really go 5 innings, 2 earned.
Yeah, true.
Because I don't think he's going to go deep in this game. But that's basically what he's been doing. 5 innings, 2 earned. That's what he can do. That's what he can give you. And I think maybe, or if anything, he'll do better against the A's. I'm very optimistic on Scherzer tonight. I'll also take Gausman. And I think a Toronto sweep heading into the break, that'll really cap off. They'll have 57 wins at the break. That'll really cap off their first half and how good they were in the first half. That was their first Wet Hot American weekend in a long time.
It felt good.
It did feel good, and I'm really happy with these picks. And we'll obviously talk about it more on Monday, as well as see how the standings shape up at the break, because there's a reason to believe that there's a lot of shakeups in the standings. This weekend.
100%. Hopefully,
a lot of division games.
Hopefully, that'd be nice. We might have to do a standings check on Monday.
We might have to. We'll see how it looks come break time. Plus, I think the All-Star bracket. First of all, not the bracket, the Home Run Derby bracket. But first of all, if we really wanted to, we figure out the Home Run Derby bracket, because it's the most home runs plays the least amount of home runs. So it's like Cal Riley will face off against Acuna in the first round. It's shit like that. So I think if we really wanted to figure it out, we could. We're not going to do that. We'll just wait till it gets announced. We'll talk about that and more All-Star coverage on Monday. Okay, more All-Star.